Welcome to the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast with Michael LaFido, where top luxury agents reveal their best practices, plus interviews with real estate industry influencers, thought leaders, and luxury marketing experts. You'll come away from each episode with new strategies and tactics to dominate high-end homes in any market. And now for the latest episode of Luxury Listing Specialist. Here's your host, luxury real estate expert, coach, and trainer, Michael LaFido.
Welcome back to another episode of the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. You're in the right spot if you're an agent, you're a broker owner, you're a team leader. Maybe you're a newer agent or you're a seasoned veteran and you're just looking for additional tools, tricks, ideas that you can implement to help catapult your business to the next level in 2022. Before I bring on today's guest, just a reminder, if you're getting value from this episode or previous episodes, please leave us a like, leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, on Google, on Facebook, whatever it might be. It's the best way that you can thank me. Again, I'm doing these for free. The guests are giving up their time, and we're doing it to raise the bar in the industry. And just like if you do an amazing job for a client, you too should ask for that 5-star review. And so, again, if you've read our book, Luxury Listing Specialist, or you've obviously listening to this podcast, we'd greatly appreciate it. As always, if you have a topic that you'd like to suggest, or you think you would be a great guest, we're always looking for more guests. Please shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. So here we are, the first podcast of 2022. We're going to make this the best year. The best is yet to come. And we launched last month a new series every Friday called Luxury Fridays. Luxury Fridays, where we are bringing on guests. We're talking luxury. You can get Q&A. You can have questions answered in real time from me. All you got to do is go to joinluxgroup.com. Join Lux Group, Luxe group.com. When you go to joinluxgroup.com, you'll see the second button there that says Luxury Fridays. Click on that, and that will get you information for that week's show. Again, every Friday, Luxury Fridays. All right, really excited to bring on today's guest. Him and I met 3 years ago, and we were, if you will, reunited in November at an EXP at their conference. And so I bring on Jake Crawford. Jake has been licensed for about 8 years. Him and I met when he was about 5 years into the business. He was doing about 10 million in volume at the time. His average sale price at the time was around $500,000. Jake is licensed both in Arizona and Nevada. And fast forward 3 years later, Jake has basically doubled his average sale price. He's about $1 million right now, and his volume's almost quadrupled. He's gone from 10 million to he's almost going to do 40 million in volume. I think he said about 37 million. He's doing some great things. He's young. He's got great energy. He's coachable. And it's a real honor to bring on Jake Crawford. Jake, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, what I missed in the introduction? What would you like to share a little bit about your story, or maybe what you were before a licensed real estate agent?
You know what? I was a college student and then got into real estate right after college, and yeah, it's been an exponential learning curve and growth, because I was a complete idiot not too long ago. It's probably, like 10 years ago, I was just clueless in life. So a mentor took me under his wing. Super grateful for that. Brought me up to speed for a couple of years, working as an assistant. And then, as most, real estate teams play out, I flew out of the nest and started doing my own thing. And fast forward, here we are today. So I've been super grateful.
So you had a mentor. I mentioned you were coachable. So you and I met. There was a Freedom Summit. There was an event that Brian Colhane, who's one of the co-founders of EXP, Brian Colhane, hosted an event at a $6.5 million home going back a few years back. And I spoke at it, and that's where you and I met. And during the happy hour afterwards, you and I were talking, and you said, hey, I'm interested in hearing more about your luxury designation. I'm interested in coaching. So you ended up signing up for our course, going through our course, and I ended up coaching you. Walk everybody through that, because your situation is a little unique where, I'm coaching right now a $100 million producer out of Atlanta with Compass, and she's banked a couple, coaching calls where she's had a couple things pop up. And so she goes, hey, I want to bank these calls for later, which we normally don't do, but she's awesome. And I agreed to do it for her. In your case, you actually had one or two coaching calls left, and you're like, I'm good, man. I got what I needed. Talk to me about that. That was so unique. And you brought that
Yeah.
up last month when we were in Vegas together, a couple months back, I should say. And it just struck me.
Yeah. So it's a little unorthodox, and it's not that I think I know it all, because I could definitely learn more all the time, and I try every day. But part of the big picture for me of signing up with your coaching and the course was, I feel like it just gave me that extra confidence boost that I needed to believe that I was a luxury agent, because I paid for it. I paid for the course. And I know it might sound dumb, but there's that saying where your treasure is there, your heart will be also. And I invested into my career, and I just that in and of itself. And then after, doing the course and coaching as long as I did, I feel like that was just enough confirmation for me. And yeah, I don't know why it worked out like that. Like I mentioned, I think maybe part of it was playing into just how most people and millennials have been conditioned our entire lives to hear, like, go to college, get a good job, that kind of thing. So maybe that was part of it, where it's like, I went through this course, I can now go officially be a luxury agent.
Yeah.
Which is really helpful to me. So
we were talking offline. There's I'm a Sylvester Stallone fan, and there's a movie that most people probably have never even heard of called Over the Top. And in Over the Top, my recollection is he's I believe, a truck driver, but in Over the Top, he enters these arm wrestling tournaments, and he's wearing his trucker, his baseball cap. And once he steps into the ring, if you will, once he's across from his opponent, he takes that hat and puts it behind his head, and that's like flipping the switch. So you put a stake in the ground. You had the Lux designation. You had some calls. You put the flag in the ground, and you're like, you know what? I'm a luxury specialist. I got what I needed, and you took off. And as I mentioned in the introduction, you went from average sale price of 500,000, which is great, to $1 million. And what's your biggest, I guess, advice to agents that maybe are overcoming their own objections and have limiting beliefs as to luxury? Now that you're doing luxury, what would you tell others?
yeah, I would tell people getting into it to just be like all consumed and passionate about giving the best service you can. And ultimately, if you just put yourself in the client's shoes, I feel like that really takes the mystical, like, how do I do this? What do I do? It seems like I can't be a luxury agent if you're not one. But if you just put yourself in someone's shoes that's going to do a luxury deal, I feel like from that, understanding that would just flow everything that you need to do from being that kind of person that cares that much. It's like, okay, what does this person need to know? What do they need to know about the area and the market, and the construction quality and all the, just everything that matters to them, lifestyle, things to do, reputation. I feel like it's really that simple at the highest level of just giving people the information that they need. And a lot of realtors, though, don't have that information. So that's the difference between, I feel like, the winners and the people at the top. And I'm a smaller fish at the top, but I see other people that are doing, way more than me, and it's all the same. It's constant throughout, where it's like they have an edge with better information and better service, and concierge service that other agents aren't willing to commit to do, or they're too scared, or they don't know how. But yeah, I think that would be my answer, is just being all consumed with doing whatever it takes as quick as possible to be that agent, where if you don't know about the construction quality, you know, and every little detail, and then you need to, and, you know, go learn that as quick as possible. And I would just have a sense of urgency about it, because why wait, you know, a lot of years to get good at something if you can go do it right away.
Well, here we are, January 2022, New Year's resolutions, which most New Year's resolutions, it's tough to say that, don't work, right? People join gyms, first 30 days, they stop attending, right? I mean, a couple years back, I made a New Year's resolution that I've kept. It's something for my physical health, nothing major, but I'm just like, hey, I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day. And, you know, famous NFL player Herschel Walker never lifted weights. He always just did tons of push-ups and sit-ups every day. I'm like, I'm just going to, and I still work out Orange Theory Fitness, but I'm like, I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day, commit to it, and just see what kind of transformation, if any, it does to my upper body. My point is, we're in January. Your message should resonate with everybody here. Again, what are you going to commit to? What are you passionate about? You know, I have vision boards, right? I have visuals, pictures by my desk, by my office, you know, so, you know, maybe it's financial freedom equals relationship freedom. Again, money, I talk about raising your average sale price. I talk about making more money. It's not about money. It's about what can money do for others, not just you, right? You can donate more money. You can take more vacations. You can do stuff with your family. You know, you can surprise your family with things. You can, you know, like I said, donate, give back. So, you know, I believe that money freedom equals time freedom equals relationship freedom.
Hi, it's Michael LaFido here with a quick break from the podcast. If you are committed to increasing your average sale price and you want to work smarter, not harder, then you want to check out luxurylistingspecials.com, where you'll find out more information about the Lux designation along with some additional resources. Again, I'll repeat, check out luxurylistingspecials.com. And now let's get back to the show.
So we're all about growing your knowledge and increasing your confidence. So I do really appreciate that, Jake. Tell me about your daily routine. That's one of the things I'm going to start asking guests a little bit. What's your daily routine look like, as far as, do you plan out your day, your week? How do you prioritize? Do you, you know?
So I'm not quite as systematized as I probably should be. So I've just been pretty loose about, you know,
well, you are organized, because you've been telling me about this Excel sheet that you have.
Well, I mean, that's as organized as I get. That's
all right. Well, tell me about the Excel sheet
and where the source, you know, comes from, referral or open house or whatever. But in terms of my day, I just, you know what, I feel like it just gets packed all the time, and I never really know what's going to happen until, like, you know, the day of, or maybe a few days before. Like, my weeks will be wide open, and then it'll get totally booked, you know, pretty short notice of just back-to-back stuff, you know, or nothing. You know, maybe I show 4 different clients homes in a day, and it's just back-to-back running around. Or maybe
life as a real estate agent. Some days are busy, some days aren't. But let's talk about those days when things aren't busy. Let's come back to that Excel sheet. You have an Excel sheet.
Yeah. So I just call it like being in the green zone. I just ask myself, like, what can I do to make the most amount of money right now? And I just try and prioritize. And so I'll, you know, obviously following up with people is huge. Prospecting. So yeah, if I'm not busy, I mean, that's, you know.
All right. So you have this Excel sheet. So for the rest of us, it's pretty easy. Here we are in January. We can look back at 2021. Look at how many homes you sold in 2021. Let's keep it real simple. Let's just say 20 for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah.
Look at those 20 homes, whether it be buy side, whether it be you represented the seller, and figure out, where did that lead come from? Was it your sphere? Was it a referral? Was it some type of lead generation website? And as you assess that, that's where you should spend more time and energy. So Jake, off the interview shared with me that most of his deals come from referrals and in the past open houses. So let's just say, for the sake of you guys listening, if yours come from open houses and referrals, A, you got to be doing more open houses, and B, you have to continue to communicate with your past clients and your current clients to hopefully get those referrals. Do you plant seeds, Jake? Like, hey, now that we're going through this process, now you're going to hear more and more people talk about buying or selling. I'd like you to, pass along my information, or let me know if you know of anybody that needs a second opinion. Talk to me about that conversation, if there is one.
Yeah, good question. So the way that I think about all my clients is, since I don't have to do that many deals, right? I'm not doing 1,000 deals a year, so I can have relationships, because there's enough time to have relationships with my clients. So for the clients I like, I spend time with them outside of real estate. We don't even, talk real estate, and then unless they want to bring it up. But I have kind of a nonchalant, like, I'm a realtor, and if you know someone and we have a good enough relationship, you're going to refer them to me just naturally, without me asking. But so I guess, on the other side of the coin, asking could be just as good, especially if you don't have time to develop relationships, right? So it's just kind of not really played out like that for me, because I want to have relationships with my clients, and those are the clients that refer me other clients, right? So I don't need to ask, because does that make sense?
No, it does. Everybody's got different styles. One of the things I like reminding agents about is something called the reticular activator. It's a part of your brain that heightens your awareness to certain things. Pregnant women notice other pregnant women. Engaged women notice other engagement rings. You buy a new car, you see that car all over the road afterwards, because your brain, you just went through that process. Well, what does this have to do with real estate? I like planting those seeds and using that example when I'm talking with the buyer, when I'm talking with the seller, and say, Jake, we're helping you buy right now, or we're getting your home ready to put on the market. I look back at my 2021 and fill in the blank. 90%, 20% of my business was through referrals. And I want to take care of you. I want to under promise and over deliver. And all that I ask, besides at the end, if I do that and I've earned the right for a 5-star review, all that I ask is you keep me in mind if you know of anybody else that's thinking about buying or selling, or maybe somebody that's selling and they just want a second opinion because, they don't hear from their agent, or the only time they hear from their agent is to lower the price. So I do like planting those seeds, and I like using the reticular activator as that example.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I feel like depending on the person, like some people are such strong leaders that you don't even need to ask. But on the other end of the spectrum, there might be a lot of clients where if I would ask them, because they're not that strong of a leader, just that ask could help them. It could help, give them permission to want to do that in case they didn't think about it for whatever reason. Yeah. Like I had one client that he was so strong and referring me clients. He had a employee of his that had a cousin that was a realtor, and they were about to sign the listing documents, and my client was like, no, you have to call Jake, fire your cousin. And so I ended up, helping him with the deal and made him way more money. It was a great story. But that's, on the other end of the spectrum, most people aren't like that. Right. And so I think that asking people is probably better than not, because
well, you bring up a good point. There are, I call left brain and right brain analytical. Left brain are analytical, right brain are more your social. And the disc personality, right? As far as referrals are concerned, you just got to plant seeds. But the key is, do what you say you're going to do, be likable, and deliver an amazing experience and an amazing product. Before we go, guys, just a couple things. If you're getting value from Jake's interview, again, please leave us a like or review. I really greatly appreciate that. But B, these are the types of dialogues that we're having on our Luxury Fridays. We're having various guests. We're doing some role playing. We're doing some Q&A. Maybe you have a question, for Jake. Well, that would be a perfect example of if Jake was our guest on our Luxury Fridays, where you could ask it right then and there. And so that's why we launched it. We're really excited about it. You can go to Join Lux Group, LUXE group.com, joinluxgroup.com. We are looking for some strategic partners across the world. So if you're an agent, you're hungry, you want to be part of something special, reach out to me. There might be an opportunity that we can partner up on some things. Go to joinluxgroup.com. You'll see some ways to get in touch with me or fill out a form there. Jake, as far as parting words of advice or parting thoughts as to, where you are today and 2022, what are you going to do to continue to sell $1 million properties or to increase your average sale price in 2022?
Yeah, I think the answer for me is just simply helping more people and doing more deals. So, that's really
all right. Hey, sometimes we overcomplicate things, and just like football comes down to blocking and tackling and the fundamentals and helping more people, looking at that spreadsheet, contacting your past clients, working other people's open houses. If you don't have luxury listings and you were on Jake's team or knew Jake as you were both licensed in the same company, and you approached Jake about his $1 million or $500,000 listing, Jake probably doesn't want to host open houses every weekend. But if you came to him with a solution saying, hey, Jake, I see you got this listing. It's sitting for a little bit. I'm hungry. I want to grow my book of business. I'd love to help you get the home sold, Jake. Would you mind if I hosted an open house over at 123 Scottsdale Way? What would you say to that, Jake?
Yes, it's win-win.
I'm all about win-wins. So these are the types of tips and suggestions we give. Again, as you are listening to this, we're 1 week away. If anybody's listening to this in Colorado, we are doing a live in-person designation training just outside of Denver. You can go to luxurydesignation.com, Luxury Designation. We are streaming it live and in person. We're going to be doing more and more live events, but you can go to Luxury Designation if you're interested in hearing more about the event on January 20th. And our bonus day, we're going to do a mansion tour on the 21st. Go to luxurydesignation.com. My name is Michael Afito. I hope you guys continue to raise the bar. Now, Jake, if somebody's got a referral out by the way, which areas, I didn't even ask that earlier, specifically, which areas do you serve? And then if somebody's got a referral in that area, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
My cell phone, 480-766-2973.
One more time.
480-766-2973. And imagine a suit and tie and stuff. I'm going to go work out after this, but don't
worry. Remember, this is audio only. This is audio only, so you're good.
Oh, it is. All right, right on. So it's, mainly Scottsdale, but I'll help a client wherever they need to go. I mean, if it's Gilbert or Santan or even Prescott, and then up in on the Nevada coast of Tahoe too.
Okay.
Up there. So
awesome. We got Jake Crawford. He's out of the Scottsdale market, former Lux graduate, and again, keep raising the bar, Jake. Thanks for inspiring others, letting others know that they too can double their average sale price within a few years and quadruple their volume by doing what they say they're going to do, by being hungry, by investing in themselves. You mentioned you had a mentor earlier, and so thank you.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for being a part of my story. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate being part of your story. Folks, until next time, my name is Michael Afito. Check out joinluxgroup.com for Luxury Fridays. And again, I hope you found value in today's show. Future shows to come, we're going to have some amazing guests. And if you want to nominate somebody or you too think you'd be a great guest, shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. Until next time, take care, everybody.